Two big stories surrounding the Lakers in the aftermath of their acquisition of LeBron James that break today, and kind of the unofficial break we had between the end of the first wave of free agency and now what happens next, as we talked about the dust settling. The first part comes to us courtesy of Lonzo Ball, in which Adrian Wojnarowski, Woj on ESPN, said this yesterday when it comes to Lonzo Ball's knee injury. Remember, we had the story a few days ago that Lonzo Ball's got a torn meniscus, and he was going to have surgery, but he's going to be okay for the start of training camp. Woj says yesterday that knee injury, I think there was a belief around the Lakers that it was within his world that got leaked out there to keep him from getting traded. He doesn't want to be traded from L.A. It wasn't the Lakers who wanted information on that knee injury. There's a lot of teams who were checking on possible deals with the Lakers. They wanted to know. There were a lot of questions about that knee. But Doug, I hate to say I told you so, except I really do like that, especially when it comes around Lonzo Ball. But when this story broke, it sounded fishy. This was not a Lakers story. This is a Yahoo report about an injury, about a torn meniscus that, oh, by the way, comes right in the middle of, hey, Kawhi Leonard's coming. What young pieces could the Spurs want from the Lakers? And this is why Lonzo Ball's eventually going to be an ex-Laker, maybe by the deadline, but certainly by the end of this year, because the Lakers are going to get tired of this act, of this, what's going on with Lonzo, this shroud of mystery, and mainly it's Lonzo's loyalty more so to his dad and big baller brand than it is to the Lakers. If he would have one press conference and say, listen, I'm my own man, my dad talks, we don't really talk all that often, and he says what he says, but I'm committed to the Lakers, Luke Walton, Magic Johnson, winning championships, this is what I'm here for, that could get rid of it. But he doesn't do it. Well, and stories like this come up, and you go, what other conclusion can you really draw?
Well, hold on, though. You're acting as though having the all-out desire to be a member of the Lakers is somehow a bad thing. I will grant you that if you're hurting the team's chances of pulling off a trade for a Kawhi Leonard, that's suboptimal. On the other hand, like, look, if his camp is saying he wants to be a Laker, I still think he has that card to play as well. You're not wrong. Okay, you're not wrong in that the Lakers have privately said that. Like, look, at some point you got to stand up and be your own man. He still has that card to play, and it will be played before he's dealt. Do I think he's been part of these trade discussions? Sure. And are we completely sure that Lonzo Ball's camp leaked this information? We're not. This is Adrian Wojnarowski, that's the talk around the Lakers. But again, teams are checking in on the Lakers. They got to check in on Lonzo's knee. Exactly what happened with Lonzo. He was out for a long time, if you remember. He only played 52 games. But even if we deem it to be an accurate portrayal of how things went down, he found, his dad found out that he might be sent to San Antonio, and they freaked out, and they released that information. It looks bad, but it all depends upon your perspective. Because the perspective of Magic Johnson is Lonzo Ball saying, look, man, I want to make it work here. I'll do anything to make it work here, and I don't want to be included in any trade because I am a Laker. I'm destined to be with the Lakers. I think it's received differently from Magic than it is in terms of in comparison to LeVar planting stories that can change the history of the team.
Right. I mean, if that was the case, that would have happened. If it was, hey, Lonzo Ball really doesn't want to go anywhere, he had a heart-to-heart with Magic Johnson, he wants to stay, that would have been how they handled it. But to have injury information leak out, that's not how you'd handle it if you really want to stay. If you're not playing some kind of game, this is how you handle it. You handle it that way and say, all right, because there's many players in the past, I'm just going in the past few years, that when it comes to the trade deadline, we have heard in NBA, Major League Baseball, that you hear are out there and they don't get traded, and you hear the general manager say, hey, I had a conversation. They really wanted to be a part of what we have going on here, and we love that part, so we didn't include them. Now, whether that's the real story or not, or that we couldn't find a trading partner for them, but at least up front, hey, we had that conversation, and so wants to be here and wants to be a part of that. I can't buy that. I can't buy. There's too much of a shroud of mystery and what real agendas are going on surrounding Lonzo Ball to see too many stories like this to go, okay, did this really how it went down? Is it not? Look, I'll take you back to last summer when he's playing in the summer league and it's nearing the end, and they're going to play the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento Kings was the second game.
Sacramento Kings, they're going to play, and they played. And it was a situation where they were playing a couple of games in a very short period of time. Like they have a game, they were off, then they play a game, and then they were off. So they had a couple of games close to each other. And it comes to the Kings game. It was the last time they were going to play the Kings. Sorry, it was the last time they were going to play the Kings in Summer League. That's what it was. And Lonzo Ball had played. Up until then, everything was fine. And then the day before the game against the Kings, Lonzo's got a knee. We're going to rest him a little bit. Meanwhile, he had played full minutes the game before. It was at practice. Everything was fine. Yeah, he may sit out the game against the Kings. And on the surface, you would say, okay, well, why is he sitting out? Well, De'Aaron Fox is a guy that worked him during the season, during the NCAA tournament, and that was a big headline. Oh, let's see Lonzo and De'Aaron Fox go up against each other.
You're saying what you think. You're not saying what you know.
I'm saying. So,
like, I'm telling you, I know that's not the kid. I'm not ducking De'Aaron Fox in the Summer League.
Suddenly now, he sits out for that game. Information about Lonzo's health was never really made public, and he's playing in the next game. And he's back at practice after that, and he's playing. So when you continually see stories like this, how can you come to any other conclusion other than there's something going on behind closed doors, which I'm taking as they didn't want the last time these guys play against each other. If De'Aaron Fox goes up against Lonzo,
nothing to do with it. You're taking it because you don't know, Jace. This is like Brandon Ingram didn't play last year in Summer League, right?
How many?
Well, hold on. Brandon Ingram didn't play. Do you know why Brandon Ingram didn't play in Summer League? Okay, because he got
played
hurt.
One game.
Yeah, he rolled his ankle.
Right.
He was fine. Okay, his agent didn't want him to play, so his agent shut him down. Brandon ain't playing him anymore. That's how it goes down. So the idea that this only happens with Lonzo Ball, it's not. The agent shut him down. The Lakers badly wanted Brandon Ingram because he didn't have a great rookie year, and they wanted him to get more experience playing with Lonzo. Then when they have Lonzo come in, like, look, it's a lot for those guys to go from all of a sudden you're drafted to putting in an NBA system to playing in Summer League, and they did monitor guys. They didn't play guys every night. De'Aaron Fox also, I believe, didn't play in that last game either. So... Look, I understand you don't like Lonzo. I don't like the LeVar Act either. But you're making A plus C equals B. You're making an assumption on something that's a little bit far fetched. Did he have a knee issue this year? Yes. Do they like him? Yes. Are they in love with him? Like, no. They in their heart of hearts they probably wish they would have taken Donovan Mitchell. He had a great workout. They all liked him. But they did buy it. I think if Lonzo hadn't been in L.A., if it hadn't been for his dad and being from L.A., he probably wouldn't have gotten drafted this high anyway. I just think you can only manage the situation as of now. And however I would take it if a guy doesn't want to be traded, Woj leaking this story, telling this the story, tells us Lakers, they're pissed. They're trying to make a trade. They're trying to get Kawhi Leonard. The last thing they need is information that they want to hold back being out there. And I agree with you. At some point, he has to step up and be his own man. But let's not take every different time he missed a game into question and wonder whether or not he was ducking players, or he's a competitive kid that wants to be good, that's never been coached, that has to change his body. I think he has to change his shot. He did do a lot of things that they like, a lot better than a lot of other rookies did. We only focus on Donovan Mitchell and Jason Tatum, and we don't focus on the rest of the rookie class, which is wildly disappointing, including Markelle Fultz, the number 1 overall pick.
How many stories do you have to hear before you realize, okay, there's more to it than just here's an isolated story? If this is a one-off, I would say, okay, I get that. All right, this happened one time. But now you have this. You have other stories during the year. Now we'll bookend it with that story to here. That now you can make an excuse. You can say, all right, this is conceivably how it could have happened. But there's many times when I look at this and go, something else is at play. Because this is not how a normal rookie season goes for anybody in the history of the game. We don't see things like this. And so when you see that, there's no way you can't look into it and think that there's something else at play here other than he's hurt, he's this. LeVar Ball has always been an opportunist, and his sons have always been in line with whatever he has going on. And to see this go this way, you really think there's nothing going on? You really think there's nothing going on? Nothing, whether it was last summer, there was no bit of, hey, I don't want this headline to be, boy, De'Aaron Fox worked you in Summer League because you're still working your way into shape. You're still getting it. So let's sit out this game, and we'll be back and ready to play the next game. The Lakers could have easily come out and protected him. If he was really hurt in Summer League last year and said, you know what, Lonzo, his knee, we're going to sit him down, and we don't want to take a chance with him. Brandon Ingram played one game, and he didn't play the rest of Summer League. Lonzo Ball just sat out one game in the middle of games. He was back for the next game. He was back at practice. He didn't miss practice before, but suddenly, he's not playing. And that's the same thing as this story. Oh, suddenly, yeah, he's been working out. Everything's been great. All the positive reports, Lonzo's bulked up. He's working out. He's fine. He was off the court for a while, but now he's back and working out. It's a big story. Ramona Shelburne had it on ESPN. And now suddenly, oh, yeah, torn meniscus and he may need surgery. Whoa, okay, wait a minute. So what's the real story here? What's going on? What's leading up to it? Or now what's been leaked to the press? There's too much. I can't keep looking at all this smoke and say, nope, there's still no fire. There's still no fire.
Well, the reality was he played his best when his dad was in Lithuania most of the year. His dad was gone. He really started to play well. He averaged, 10, 6, and 6, and they felt like he really improved. And the dad's a problem. He is, and he's a problem because even now when he's being supportive in everything he says, it feels forced, and it feels fake, and it feels like he wants to say something else. The dad's trying to do what they want, but he just is not a lay low guy. He's got his own professional league, which nobody's going to, which he's trying to promote. He's got this, he's got the brand, which people aren't buying shoes, but of course he's, pot committed to. So, look, I don't think it's a marriage that's going along super smoothly, but that doesn't mean that ultimately it can't get worked out. The issue they have now is they're trying to get Kawhi, trying to figure out this roster. LeBron's still overseas. There hasn't been any communication between him and Luke Walton. There's a bunch of other things at play, and I don't think, you want leadership. You don't even have necessarily, and it's really hard to do if you're Rob Pelinka or if you're Matt Johnson, but we haven't even had a press conference, to announce the signing of LeBron James yet, because LeBron's not here and because of the timing of how everything went down. So there's still a lot of stuff that needs to be set in place. But if your general premise is, hey, if Lonzo wants to make it work, he's got to be his own man and state as much, I would agree with you. I think that sometimes, though, you're led to speculate on things that just aren't accurate.
Well, do you know that they're not accurate? You don't know. For a fact, he was injured last summer.
He wasn't injured last summer.
He wasn't.
They wanted to rest him. He was in terrible shape. That's why when they did a workout with him before the draft, he was totally unimpressive. And then LeVar called him and wanted to do another workout. They did a private workout, and he was a little bit better, but not much better. Just wasn't in great shape. And you go out there, and now all of a sudden you're playing in front of 18,000 people in Vegas, and those games are real, and you're playing a 48-minute game, and guys are getting into you, and you get worn down. You don't play a guy every day. Got all these summer league guys. I mean, remember Greg Oden, right? He got hurt in summer league. Blake Griffin got hurt in summer league. They don't. People get monitored in summer league all the time. It had nothing to do with De'Aaron. They weren't trying to duck De'Aaron Fox.
And then this story now. This is something that.
I definitely think that's what the Lakers think. I definitely think that's.
You think that's, but you don't think that's what happened.
I don't know if that one I don't know about.
Okay,
I have no idea about. I don't know.
So there's smoke.
No, the smoke is the Lakers are pissed that got out.
Well, I didn't even know that's smoke. I think that's apparent, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. It was assumed. Maybe it was assumed before. But when he says the thought within the Lakers is they have a leak, somebody leaked out that he has a torn meniscus, the Lakers are pissed. They think it's LeVar. That's what that says to me.
How has this gone so, not so bad, but how has this gone from the high of LeBron coming, and now suddenly that's all the NBA is talking about, and the Lakers are here, to what's gone on the past few days with them? Because it's not been a great last few days.
Because they signed Lance Stevenson and Rondo and JaVale and didn't offer DeMarcus Cousins. Mark Stein reported, and we talked about this when it happened, that they need DeMarcus Cousins to play the start of the year. The Warriors don't. That's why they weren't into DeMarcus Cousins. Plus, dude, DeMarcus Cousins has been a losing player. Who are we kidding? He's been the reason that teams are losing. Yeah, did not have great talent around him, sure, but he's been a losing player, and they don't want too many guys with a losing mindset coming from losing background, around their younger players and around LeBron James. I think it's because of the other guys that they've signed, and because they didn't get Paul George, that what should be received as great positivity looks like, yeah, I guess they're a playoff team, but man, there's not much around LeBron James.